Bay FM48, I will discuss about the brief background of the Nokia mobile phone company case. First, simula ng Nokia. Ang Nokia ay isang Finnish multinational company na nagsimula noong May 12, 1865 bilang paper mill or which is ito na po yung paggawa ng papel. Habang tumatagal naman, nag-expand ito sa iba't ibang produkto tulad ng goma, cables, electronics at iba pa. And noong 1967 na nag-merge na tatlong kumpanya at naging Nokia Corporations. Sa paglawak naman ng negosyo nila, gumawa sila ng papel, goma, gulong, boats, TV, cables, computers, robotics, military tech, gaya ng gas mask, which is ito na po yung plastics, aluminum, and chemicals. And noong 1960, nagkaroon sila ng electronics divisions at gumawa gamit para sa nuclear power plants. And after that, in-encourage ang mga researchers na gumawa ng sariling project, which is dito na po nagsimula ang ma-develop ang interest nila sa mobile technology. Sa pag-angat naman sa mobile phones noong 2000, inilabas ang Nokia 3310 na super sikat at matibay. Then 2003, Nokia 11000 na pinakamabentang phone sa buong mundo. Nag-gauge yung pinagsamang video game, consoles at phone. 2008, gumawa sila ng short film projects kasama sa Spike Lee gamit ang cellphones ng mga tao. Then 2009, bumalik sa personal computing gamit ang Nokia Book 3G, which is isunod po yung BookNet na Windows-based. For smartphones and software naman, gumamit ang Nokia ng Series 40 sa mga basics phones nila gamit ang Java apps, then binili nila ang smartphones at pinagsama sa Series 40 para maging Asha platforms. Ang Asha 501 ang unang phone na gumamit sa buong system na ito, pero natigil ang Series 40 sa huling bahagi ng 2014. Sa pagbagsak at pagbenta naman, dumami ang kalaban nila gaya ng Apple at Android phones. Then nahuli naman ang smartphones at then smartphones like touchscreens, apps, and etc. Then 2014, binili ng Microsoft ang Nokia mobile phones business. Pero kahit binenta naman na, ginagamit naman ang Nokia brand ng ibang kumpanya, which is like HMD Global para sa Android phones. Mula sa papel hanggang sa mobile phones, sobrang laki ang naging journey ng Nokia. Pero dahil hindi sila nakasabay sa smartphones rin, bumagsak ang market nila at ngayon naman buhay pa ang Nokia brand sa pamamagitan ng kumpanya pero sa ibang label na. Thank you.
My name is Althea Ardumdum. My topic is all about history, financial facilities, products, size in terms of assets and liabilities, and etc. In 1865, Nokia originates in Finland, where it was founded as a single fan mill. Over the next century, it expanded into a conglomerate, producing a diverse range of products, including rubber boots, car tires, and communications cables. In 1980s, Nokia entered the telecommunications industry, developing early mobile phones and network infrastructure. In 1990s and early 20s, it became the world's leading manufacturer of mobile phones, known for its durable and innovative design like the Nokia 3310. In 2014, the rise of the smartphone, led by Apple's iPhone and Google's Android, caught Nokia off guard. The company's struggles in this new market led to the sale of these devices and services division to Microsoft in 2014. Since then, Nokia has refocused its business on network infrastructure, software, and technology licensing, like products and services, mobile networks providing the infrastructure for 4GB and 5GB networks, including radio access networks, RAN, and related technologies. Network infrastructures offering a wide range of solutions for fixed networks, IP routing and optical networks, cloud and networks services, developing cloud-native software and services to help businesses with their digital transformation. Nokia Technologies managing the company's extensive patent portfolio and licensing the Nokia brand for various products, including new smartphones and consumer electronics.
So, in this section, I will discuss the case of Nokia Company case. So, base sa case na nabasa or natakal ko, is the best na business case na application dito is first is the brand strategy. Because, ang Nokia, of course, kilala sila sa pagiging maganda. Kilala sila sa phone brands dati. However, due to the rapid changes, especially sa technology, mabilis ang pagbabago ng technology at pag-i-improve, is hindi sila nakasunod sa new technology world. So, yung transformation nila is mabagal. So, that falls sa digital transformation, the second one, since masyado silang mabagal mag-adapt sa pagbabago ng technology. So, hindi sila nakakasabay sa mga competitors nila. So, humihina yung sales nila and nagkakaroon ng problema sa strategy or sa market standing nila since hindi na nga sila tinatangkilik because of their lack of innovation para sa pag-release nila ng mga bagong product. And then, for the third one for me is the merger and acquisition. Since in the year 2000, bumaba yung sales nila or their market sales drop. So, because hindi sila makasabay sa competition for Androids or Samsung company and Apple company like that and other smartphones or cell phone companies. So, they came up to the idea na i-sell yung mobile phone division nila sa Microsoft. So, ang goal ng Microsoft is ma-enhance yung system ng phone or the design ng system ng Nokia. However, due to this step na ginawa nila, naapektuhan yung marami empleyado ang naapektuhan sa Nokia. And also, yung interface or yung system na ginawa ng Microsoft is hindi naging successful kasi una, it's really difficult to navigate and hindi siya user-friendly. Limited din yung apps and may mga restrictions siya. So, magulo talaga yung interface na Microsoft. It's like you're navigating a laptop in a phone. Like that. And the next one is the new products. So, dati kilala ang Nokia sa pagkakaroon ng mga bagong products, pag-release ng mga iconic, durable design. Nag-start sa 3310, the iconic phone. 3310, very durable, iconic design, and patok na patok sa masa dati. However, dahil sa transformation ng technology, mabilis siyang na wala sa spotlight since yung smartphones is na-introduce na sa market. So, marami ng tao ang nag-demand ng mga smartphone. So, naging market demand na siya for a smartphone technological enhancement and hindi nakasabay doon yung Nokia. So, na-left behind sila. And that caused ulit para mawala sila sa standing sa market. And then, the next one is the expansion into new markets. So, dati kilala sila sa successful expansion sa mga developing countries like sa Asia, Africa, or Latin American since dun sila parang kilala. Since affordable nga, is ginagamit nila yung advantage na ang mga consumers sa mga rural area or sa mga developing country is looking for an affordable phone na magagamit nila, and very durable and napakamura. However, since nagkaroon na ng market demand for smartphones, hindi na nakasabay yung Nokia, so hindi sila nakapag provide ng mga smartphone models nila. So they still stick to their phone design, especially yung operating system nila, which is first is the Symbian OS. So however, it's really hard na i-develop yung OS nila or yung operating system ng phone nila, since it's really hard for developers to enhance the OS. So kaya sila nag-came up sa Microsoft. However, since it's really complicated din sa Microsoft, so hindi pa rin natapatan yung competition between the Android system and the iOS system. So in that case, nawala na talaga sila sa market standing. So bumaba na talaga sila sa market standing, and hindi sila nakakapag-develop ng mga bagong features or bagong system na pwede nilang i-release. So naunahan na sila ng mga ibang company like Samsung, iOS or Apple, and other mga Chinese brands na nag-release ng mga smartphones and very affordable, which is on demand. So most of the customers will be looking for that type of phone. So it's a smartphone, it has a new feature but affordable at the same time. So na-left behind na ang Nokia. So in regards to this one, sa case nila, they really cannot adapt with the changes in the technology, so it really affects big aspects sa growth and sa market standing ng Nokia, especially ang forte nila is really the phone or the mobile phone industry or the mobile phone division nila. However, they cannot compete sa mga other companies na sumisibol or nag-release ng bagong product.
Number 3 question, what were the main problem of the company you assigned before their downfall? Enron and Nokia, merger BDO, and Equitable, PIC Bank, Robinson Bank, and BPI. Nokia lost market leadership. The main problem is slow innovation. Nokia failed to keep up with the smartphone trends, especially after the launch of Apple, iPhone, and Android device. They continue focus on outdated phone model while market shifted rapid. Next, for management decision, internal conflict, lack of clear direction, lead to slow decision making. This caused missed opportunity and a weak response to competition.
Good day everyone, I am Mary Jane Dilator and I assigned to answer the question number 4. Based on the research I did about the case studies of Nokia Mobile Phone Company, this is the financial statements and financial data that used to decide for their downfall. There are 3 financial statements: the income statement, the balance sheet, and the cash flow statement. First is their income statement. Based on the data from 2007 to 2014, there are a massive decline in net sales and profit margins, particularly after 2010, which is the rise of their competitors like Apple and Samsung that dominated the smartphone market. The case study says that once profitable mobile segment shows declining revenues and eventually negative operating margins, means that the business is not doing well and was no longer sustainable. The second one is their balance sheet that says a shrinking market capitalizations. Also, there is deteriorating shareholder equity and a weakening asset base, particularly in intangible assets such as brand value and technology. In addition, Nokia's return on investment and return on equity is also fell drastically, signaling inefficiencies in capital allocations, and there is declining investor confidence. The third one is their cash flow statements. It reveals that they have problems with liquidity because of operational cash flows turn negative, forcing Nokia to rely on external financing and assets to remain afloat. Also, their inventory turnover ratios drop, reflecting poor sales performance and possible overproductions, which drain working capital. Additionally, financial data exposed Nokia's heavy investment in Symbian OS and delayed response to Android adoption, showing a misalignment between capital expenditure and consumer trends. Their financial misjudgment caused a deteriorating stock performance, with shares losing significant value, prompting analysis to downgrade ratings and signal distress. In conclusion, these financial indicators revealed Nokia Mobile Phone Company have operational inefficiency, poor strategic positioning, and eventually market irrelevance that ultimately leading to Microsoft acquisition of Nokia's handset business in 2014. That's all. Thank you.
What was the financial status of the company before its downfall? Nokia before downfall in early 2010, market position in the mid to late 2000s. Nokia was the world's largest mobile phone manufacturer, holding about 40% global market share in 2008. Revenue and profit in 2007 revenue reached about 51 billion with profits over 7 billion. Brand strength ranked as one of the most valuable global brands. Nokia phones were seen as durable, reliable, and affordable. Technology leadership is strong in GSM technology and feature phone with successful models like the Nokia 1100 and N95. Financial health, minimal debt, strong cash reserve, and consistent profitability. Public perception seen as untouchable in mobile technology before the rise of smartphone, especially Apple iPhone and Android device.
Number 6 question. Who were the main person responsible for downfall for Nokia? The responsible person for downfall of Nokia, Olipika Kalasmo, Nokia CEO from 2006 to 2010, made conservative and cautious decisions, prioritizing and probability over innovation, rejected new product ideas and focused on traditional phones, which ultimately led to Nokia's failure to adapt to the changing market. Jorma Ulila, Nokia CEO before Kulaspo, implemented a matrix organizational structure in 2024, which led to internal conflicts, slow decision making, and a lack of agility. Stephen Ilok, Nokia CEO from 2010 to 2012, made the ill-fated decision to partner with Microsoft and adopt Windows Page Phone as their operating system, which proved to be unsuccessful.
Hello, good afternoon po. So for this question number 7, so what is the present condition or status of your assigned company at the present, which is yung Nokia. So, status ni Nokia ngayon is nakakabenta pa rin sila, pero unlike na ng lakas ng benta nila dati. Kasi alam naman natin na dati is pag sinabing Nokia, matibay yan, mataas yung quality niyan. Yun yung basihan ng quality ng panahon natin dati. Kasi si Nokia lang yung may magandang quality that time. Pero dahil nga ngayon, habang tumatagal, may mga bagong phones or smartphones na lumalabas na mas upgraded at mas mataas yung quality. So ngayon si Nokia nakakabenta pa rin sila, pero baga wala na sila sa top. I think na ang nabibenta nila is yung mga simple phone na lang, like yung mga Nokia 3310. So kapag kilala sila ngayon pagdating sa mga basic phones like yung mga keypad, kilala pa rin sa Nokia na matibay o mataas yung quality pagdating sa ganun. So ngayon malakas yung benta nila, malakas pa rin yung benta nila pagdating sa mga gamit nila, like yung mga gamit nila na mayroong 5G. So yun, ang ginagawa ni Nokia ngayon is meron silang mga co-partner, may mga partners sila na company, then gumagawa na lang sila ng mga network, tapos pinapabenta na lang nila doon gamit yung brand nila, which is yung Nokia. So nakakabenta sila ngayon, kumbaga kahit papano nakakasabay pa rin sila sa uso, or kahit paano na kumikita pa rin sila dahil din sa galing o yung diskarte nila, dahil nga nakafocus na lang sila sa network. And then siguro I think hindi lang sila basta dun lang nakafocus. Kailangan mag-isip pa rin sila ng ibang marketing strategy, or mas kailangan makasabay pa rin sila sa quality na meron yung mga ibang smartphones ngayon, para at least hindi sila malaos, or baga nakakasabay pa rin sila sa high quality na meron sa panahon ngayon. So kasi si Nokia ngayon is nakafocus sila sa kagamitan na ginagamit nila para sa paggawa ng network. Then may mga partners na lang sila na gumagawa ng mga smartphones or mga phones, tapos pinapabenta na lang or binibenta na lang yung gamit yung name brand nila, which is yung Nokia. So yun lang po. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Micah Francisco, and I was assigned to answer the question number 8. And here's my answer based on our finding and analysis. If I was hired by Nokia, I would recommend that they use earlier. At the time, Android phones were becoming popular, and the Nokia got left behind because they used the wrong Microsoft. And I would also suggest that they improve how companies work, and they were too slow on making decisions and didn't keep up the trends. And another thing is their apps and Microsoft, although their phone was so nice and looked nice, but the system inside was not easy to use, and there weren't many apps. That's why people choose another brand. And then I also think that they should not rely only on Microsoft. They should have worked the other companies, or just use Android from the start. And since many people in countries like here in the Philippines, like Nokia, they could have made affordable and a good smartphone to keep their market. And last, they need to change their image to show people that they're modern and still strong. And if they did all of that, maybe the Nokia will be or would be phone brands today. That's all. Thank you.